So there's one last thing I want to show you that's kind of neat, which is communicating directly with this Chrome driver. You can see that we've got our Chrome driver listener or server running here from when we had run our test, and it's listening on port 28983. Well, I'm going to go ahead and communicate with that server directly. So I'm just using this REST console here, which is a plugin for Chrome that allows you to basically issue posts and gets and manipulate REST-based web services pretty easily within the browser. And I'm going to go ahead and hit here on my local host and that port 28101/session, and I'm going to do a post to this, and I'm going to send this JSON here that has that desired capabilities. And what's going to happen is that this server is going to issue us back a session, and it's actually going to launch Chrome. So I'm going to go ahead and click post here. And let's verify our port here. Oh, we have 28983. So let's go ahead and switch that. So we're going to do 983. And let's go ahead and do our post here. And you can see that we got a response and this browser window popped up. So in our response, we got back this session ID. So now we can use this just like the tool did. When we wrote our C# code, it was able to use this session to issue the next command, but we can do the same thing. So I've got our browser here. I'm going to move this out of the way, and we're going to issue our next command here, which, if you remember, we had a URL command. So we're going to do session/our session, and then we're going to say URL, and then we'll go ahead and change this. So we're just going to put in here URL, and in fact, let's do this. Let's do HTTP, and then we'll do pluralsite.com. So now, if we go ahead and post this, you can see that browser automatically moved to pluralsite.com, and we got a response with our session ID and a status of 0. So you can actually even automate the browser just using these REST calls. And so now I hope that this example has helped you to understand exactly what's going on here, because I think this is so critical to make Selenium be a little bit demystified, which is basically you have these drivers that are basically servers that sit out there on a port and listen, and they're just REST web services. And when we have our bindings, for example, C# or Java, those bindings basically just allow us to have this API, just like we had seen in our code here. And we can write our C# code using this API. And what's happening is this driver class is essentially interpreting all of these commands that we're putting in here into these REST commands, just like we did here for us. And so this allows that interoperability. So you can have various bindings in different languages, and you can have various drivers, and it connects them together because they all have this common web API that they use to communicate